what it means is how governance is a two-way interaction where you're looking at the facilitation of information for public service, but also for I stumble a little bit. So we're looking at governance in the form of not only politicians and the political class pushing down information, but also the interaction bottom up.
When we started this project, we wanted to investigate in which way ICT tools were used in Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania to address 4 aspects of governance. These governance aspects were
citizen participation, tracking corruption, service delivery, or access to information. Then we did that by country. So then the study sites in Kenya, Uganda, and Tanzania, we focused on one urban area or city and one peri-urban area because for the urban areas, because that's where ICT is more prominent, it's heavier in those areas, and then in the peri-urban areas, ICT is just only beginning to pick up. So what we did was to interview these stakeholders, and the reason we chose the stakeholders is because the study itself was framed within the proposition that there exists an interdependence between governance actors, that is between citizens, governments, civil society, and between citizens. In the citizens area, developers also fall in that category. So we interviewed citizens, institutions of government or departments of government, ministries that also fall within the ICT governments and have any projects in that area. We also talked to developers who actually are the people behind the creation of these tools. And we talked to civil society organizations which drive these tools or like run these initiatives.
The geographical scope of the project was 3 East African countries in an urban and a peri-urban area. We started with Kampala, and in Kampala we were covering research that we had conducted in Lira, Fort Portal, which is Western Uganda, and Kampala. We had reached out to all the people we had interviewed during the research period in the previous year, and unfortunately many of the citizens who were further away were not able to make it, so majority of our participants were from Kampala. The dissemination went pretty well.
With like your knowledge on the subject matter, and very enthusiastic, which is really infectious, and it was a very compelling presentation. I enjoyed it very much. I enjoyed the focus away from more commercial apps and looking at apps and development in terms of governance, because these are areas that affect us as a larger society.
We had a lot of emerging questions coming up, and during that time we were also able to see that the time that had passed between when we did the research and when we were disseminating the findings, there were some new changes to some aspects of governance we had looked into, and we got some of this feedback from colleagues from the ICT for Democracy in East Africa Network, for example CIPESA. We then went to Dar es Salaam, and in Tanzania we had covered the areas of Mwanza and Dar es Salaam, and in Kenya we did research in Nakuru and in Nairobi.
The exercise actually was good, and the preparation was good, and those issues that we shared during the interview, that's what I have seen through this report. From what I comment that this kind of study is very much important for the society to know what's going on.
And out in the Nakuru dissemination, which was very encouraging because it was very diverse. It was not only the people we'd interviewed, but a lot of other CSOs in the region. Nakuru was one of our favorite. That's wrong, because that was my personal favorite, only because before we left after the dissemination, they had already formed a network.
Because these are a great network, I would like to encourage each one of us to at least continue giving information. But I would like us also to come up with a structure whereby we can create referrals, so that when we receive these information, we channel them to the right people, to the right platform.
From today's meeting, as we had this meeting with the iHub, I think my take is that we need to enhance a communication system whereby we use IT to enhance information from the government, specifically from county government to the community.
But what I can recommend as my additional input is to make sure that this kind of sharing cannot mean stand for us higher levels. Should it go also to the grassroots? iHub can prepare a simple kind of presentation to the grassroots. It is to know what is going on, because we can understand. But the people from the grassroots also, it's very good if at all they can get what is going on.
Yeah, I will really like that as an East African, as a Tanzanian, we adopt ICT and we let people communicate, be it through social media or through various platforms, websites including, so that we know what our government is doing. It should not only be complaining, it should be creative, and we should progress.